And one last thing, after Spider-Man No Way Home, watching Tobey as Spider-Man again, be honest with me, did you think about Spider-Man 4 again?
Wanda, o que sabe sobre o multiverso?
O Viz tinha teorias. Ele achava que era perigoso.
Ele tinha razão.
Sam, well, first thing, I gotta say thank you, because I can't say how many times I watched your SpiderMan Trilogy and listened to Hero by Nickelback because of the first film. I'm almost 25 now. Actually, my birthday is next week. So I can say that those films defined my generation. Here's the DVD.
Wow, thanks, pal. Thanks so much for saying that. It's a lovely compliment.
And after Spider-Man 3 and 4, which we unfortunately never saw, did you imagine coming back and working with Marvel again?
Well, I always loved the comic books, and I've always had a great relationship with the producer, Kevin Feige, who's the head of Marvel. But I didn't really think about it too much. I was trying to stay away from superheroes for a bit. I wanted to have time raising my kids and spending time in my garden, and also producing the work of young filmmakers and watching them work, learning and watching them direct actors, watching them make edits, thinking, oh, that's not how I would have done it, but then thinking, that's better than I would have done it. So I kind of went back to school and took some time out until I felt rejuvenated and like a young filmmaker ready to tackle the multiverse.
And do you remember what Kevin Feige or Marvel Studios team said when they called you for this movie? Did they give you a heads up on the size of the project and how much it would impact the MCU?
No, they didn't tell me that. My agent called me and said, Marvel's director, Scott Derrickson, will no longer be directing Doctor Strange 2. Do you want to come in for a meeting? And I said, yeah, I do. I really liked the first movie and I love Benedict Cumberbatch's performances, but it was in the rewriting of the movie with my friend Michael Waldron, the screenwriter, that really it took on more importance, I think, than just a Doctor Strange 2 movie. It really became a connecting point from the Avengers movie, the stories that left off there, from WandaVision, how that left off, and Doctor Strange's story. So it became more important or more connected to the Marvel Universe, I think, as we went forward.
And listen, on the second Spider-Man, there's a joke about Doctor Strange when J. Jonah Jameson is deciding what to call Dr. Octopus on the papers.
Doutor Estranho. O nome é bom, mas já existe.
Now in Multiverse of Madness, we do have a joke about Spider-Man. I watched the first 20 footage, the 21st minutes, but tell me about it. What was your decision? How did you feel about that almost deja vu?
First, it was Michael Waldron, our writer, and then I helped a little bit with a joke. But we wanted to make a continuing story from No Way Home. You know, Doctor Strange has already experienced the multiverse, so we needed to mark where he was relative to that. Did he remember the multiverse? Did the episodes with Spider-Man No Way Home happen or didn't happen yet? So we needed to mark that. So Spider-Man naturally came up. And this is really Doctor Strange's next learning episode into the multiverse. In No Way Home, characters came into our universe, but this time, our characters, Doctor Strange, Wanda, America Chavez, will travel into other universes. This will be the first time Marvel characters do that.
And I don't know exactly how, but Patrick Stewart is back to Marvel in Multiverse of Madness. So tell me, how was it to work with him on this one? Did you guys feel a little bit nostalgic?
I can't confirm or deny that rumor, as Marvel likes to say.
He confirmed it.
I'm not allowed to talk about that.
One thing that really intrigues me in Multiverse of Madness is that we don't know who the main villain is, or if there is one. Is this mystery on purpose, or is the multiverse itself the bad guy here?
That's a very good question. All of the above, I'll say.
All of the above, okay. Sam, you are one of those guys who started the superhero era in cinema. Have you ever thought about these great powers and responsibilities?
I oftentimes think about that. I think about the responsibility I have as a storyteller, certainly handling a character that's much loved by so many fans, Doctor Strange and Wanda. And I think about how to be responsible, knowing that I've got such power in my hands to tell this story. I guess the most important part is you're telling a story of a hero. You've got to make sure that it's really worthy of the kids looking up to these characters.
And how do you see the development of MCU, DCU, anyway, the superhero movies? Do you think they're gonna stick around for a while?
I think as long as Marvel has at its core, in its leadership core, those people that are really concerned about the integrity of the characters and being true to them and bringing forth a film of great quality, that they'll be successful.
I really love it that on Multiverse of Madness, we feel a horror vibe. As a director and a creator, how do you see the horror transformation in the last few years? And specifically, I want to ask you your opinion on the name post-horror films.
I haven't followed all the horror films that have come out recently. I know when we did Multiverse of Madness, Kevin Feige had already suggested that this would be Marvel's first entry into the horror genre. So I used a lot of the techniques that I had learned and developed over the course of maybe 4 horror films that I had made, and I was able to pull upon them to use here in Multiverse of Madness. Techniques in developing suspense sequences, creating anticipation in the hearts of the audience, delivering scares. That came in very handy when it came time to craft sequences for this film. But this is not really a really gut-wrenching horror film. It's just kind of spooky and scary fun, but not I wouldn't really call it a horror film.
And one last thing, after Spider-Man No Way Home, watching Tobey as Spider-Man again, be honest with me, did you think about Spider-Man 4 again?
I've never stopped thinking about it. It's like a baby that you never had, that you dreamed of having. So directors never stopped thinking about their projects that they wanted to make that were unrealized.
This needs to be continued, man.
Thanks, Val. Thanks, I really appreciate it.
Sam, what an honor to speak with you. I can't wait to watch the rest of the film. I watched it only 20 minutes, as I said. Congrats. It's good to have you back, man.
Thanks, man. Really nice talking with you. Thanks for the support.